Hello, Flosstube. Elizabeth Martinez, phantastitches. Doing my Flosstube update, and this is number 178. Today is Saturday, September 4th, 2021. And right off the top of the bat, before I forget, I'm going to talk about our Etsy sale, my sisters and I. If you're new to this channel, we have an Etsy shop called Three Sisters Creative, where my sisters Eve and Naomi and I have a few things for sale there. And for this weekend, which is, if you're in the United States, it's Labor Day weekend. Today is Saturday night, so this sale is going on through Monday, which is Labor Day, and we are it's 20% off of all needle minders and scissor fobs and patterns on our site. And very shortly, if not tonight, then by tomorrow, or probably is my blessed pattern should be on the site. We were just tidying up a few details on it earlier today, so it should be on the site this weekend for sure. So that's a pattern you can pick up at 20% off. It's 20% off for those things, and like I said, the sale is good through the end of Labor Day. On the also on the site, although they're not part of the sale, are project bags and notions pouches, and of various kinds. And also, one thing that is sort of one of a kind, very different, is this quilted bag that my sister made, and it's very large. It does not have a zipper, so it's good for stitching, knitting, anything like that, because it's good for knitting because it doesn't have a zipper. It's good for stitching because it's huge, very large, and it's got this beautiful fabric on the inside and on the outside. I'm going to try to show it. It's quilted. If you look at the handles there's quilting. You can see it on the handles. And like I said, it's just beautifully pieced together. It's white. It's kind of blowing out a little bit. White with this sort of a white on white pattern there. And the stripes is just gorgeous. And with it as a package deal is this notions pouch. This is a little different than the other ones that we have on the site. And like it says it's the the same sort of thing as the bag, but it has a zipper closure. And it's this darker blue fabric on the inside. Gorgeous, gorgeous. So this is also, I think it's already on the site. So go ahead and go over to the Etsy site, Three Sisters Creative. That's a number 3, Sisters Creative. And it'll be, I'll link it below in the description box. But so all those items are on there. There's various, like I said, project bags and project bags and notions pouches, and then the needle minders, scissor fobs, and patterns are on sale for 20% off. So go and take a look at that. This is a channel about cross stitch, in case you were wondering, because I've been talking about all that, and so I'm going to talk a little bit about just my progress so far. I don't have any real haul this week. I haven't gone anywhere. I was at my sister Naomi's house, pet sitting for her while she was out of town this weekend. And so I feel like I've been, gone away as almost as much as she has. But while I was at her house, I did some stitching, and September 1st was the start of my SuperShowstopperSAL, part of my participation in cross stitch camp. The cross stitch camp formally ended. It was just June, July, and August, so it formally ended August 31st. But many people wanted to do something to continue it, and there is going to be a sort of winter version of the camp, of cross stitch camp. But in the meantime, a lot of people do samplers, September sampler or sampler September. Excuse me. But Sherry Berger, who hosted the cross stitch camp projects, she said, if you don't want to do, some people don't want to do samplers, don't like to do samplers necessarily. And so her idea was doing some kind of showstopper. It could be a sampler. Some people are doing, big things like, Consider the Lilies and that sort of thing. They're huge, but they're sampler kind of things. And other people are just doing other big projects. And so I wanted to participate in that, but I wanted to do, there were two different projects that I wanted to do, so I decided to do both of them. So if you're doing the showstopper sampler, or if you're doing, like I am, two showstoppers, if you want to participate in what I'm calling Super Showstopper Stitch Along SAL, Super Showstopper SAL. Put that, hashtag that, and post your progress on that. I'm going to be posting my progress on my two projects as a Super SuperShowstopperSAL. But also, what I did before September 1st, I worked on my Midnight Meow that I've been working on, and one of my viewers, JussyLeeTeeVee, I think is what the name of her YouTube channel. Jussy, Jussy, Lee, Lee, TV, Teevee, I think is how it's spelled out. Anyway, she's doing a SAL, all the kitties, I think. So it's any project with a cat in it. And so I thought I would continue my Midnight Meow project in some fashion during the month of September. I may not stitch on it every day, but I hope to finish it possibly this month. So I did a little bit of work on it while I was at my sister's house, and you can just make out this fourth, I can't count, fourth cat, the dark gray on it. This darkest gray that you can just make out here was supposed to be the bottom of the fence here, this line of the fence, but I went ahead and did it one shade lighter. I think I misspoke last week when I did my update, but it's I listed the numbers wrong, but it's 413, 414, and 415 are the DMC numbers, and 413 is this dark color, and it, like I said, it was supposed to be the darkest color on this line on the fence, and I felt it was too dark. You wouldn't be able to see it. You can barely see it here. And it's this color that's inside, the inside of this cat's mouth and on this ear, and in between his feet here, and it looks like the black of the fabric. So it's really hard to see. So I thought it would not show up well here if I put it on the line of the fence. So my plan is to stitch it, lighter. Well, I did stitch it lighter, and then do another lighter gray on these upper lines. The next shade up. So this is 414, and then this one will be 415, like that. So, you know, one shade lighter than it shows here. And since these were kit threads, you know, they're a little bit lighter or whatever. So I did the darkest gray on this cat here, and then his little red collar. So that's what this is here. So I hope that with the other grays, this cat will show up a little better. But I did complete these other. There's some back stitching for their mouths and for this cat's face here that I haven't gotten to yet. So, but otherwise, I completed this. And like I said, this, you know, I've talked about this before. These two cats are stitched with 4 threads, and this one is stitched with 2. And you really can't tell the difference. So I think it's gonna come out right. And then this is, you know, these are all stitched with 2 threads. So I think it's gonna be fine. And I don't have any. You can kind of tell the difference in the coverage, but really up close, the 4th thread, even though it's denser and more solid feeling, it's a little sloppier because, you know, getting those 4 threads to the holes is hard. But anyway, so yeah, so if I can finish that cat and finish the last cat and just do that line of the fence, and there's a moon and some backstitched these little, you know, stars. This is all French, no, not backstitched, French knots. And I will probably do colonial knots because I'm better at colonial knots than French knots. They're basically the same thing, you know, but they're a little bit easier for me. So on starting on September 1st, I was doing my 2 SuperShowstopperSAL projects. The first one I started on was Kathy Barrick and Heaven and Nature Sing. The beautiful, beautiful chart. And it was a couple of years ago that it was very popular. Everybody was stitching it, and I just thought it was gorgeous, but I just, you know, I felt like it was so huge, you know, I didn't want to take it on. But the more I looked at it, somebody else then, I guess last year, had stitched it, and I thought, you know, I want it. I want it. I want it. So that was one that I was considering for September. And the other one I was considering was this Owl Forest kit. And this, again, it was also very popular. And every time I would look to, I would think about buying it, and I would say no. And I would think about buying it, and I would say no. And then it would be sold out. All the people that all the individuals that I knew that were selling it, you know, were selling out very quickly. And so one day, actually, I was watching Pam and Steph Just Keep Stitching, and Pam had gone to the Owl Forest website and had ordered a pattern from them, a kit, and I just decided, you know, I'm just gonna go straight to the Owl Forest site, and I ordered 3 kits. I ordered this kit and 2 smaller ones. So from their Fable series. This is Monster Wonder Whale. I think it's from their Fable series. I don't remember offhand. Yeah, I don't think it says on here. But you know, their kits are lovely because they come with thread and fabric, beautifully serged fabric, and all the threads that go, very, very variegated threads. They're gorgeous. As I understand it, they dye the threads themselves, over dyed threads, and and a needle and the pattern and everything. And these larger kits, the small ones don't have a needle minder, but the large ones do. So this one came with a needle minder. So I was trying to decide between the two projects, and I just decided to do both of them. So I started with at the horse, deer, and Heaven and Nature Sing. So this doesn't look like much, but it's the back half. If you look closely, it's the back half of the deer and the top of his tail here. And since the called for threads are needlepoint silks, and I was not going to do that, so there is a DMC conversion table on the pattern. So this is DMC, and so I started here. This is more or less the center of the pattern. It's right around in here, and so here, this is the center right here. So I did this. I stitched basically the Danish method. The loop start. So it's 2 over 2. This is 32 count linen. It's coffee tea dyed. So I stitched out here and back. This is the top of his, this is the top of his tail, and then instead of going back out this way, I went down and down this way. So this is the front of his very rear leg here. So I started in the middle here and did his tail, and then went down and did this back foot here. And so then I'll start filling this in. Yeah. So I have lots and lots of stitching on this deer. And then I'll probably do these 2 cardinals next, because they're easy to put on his back there. But yeah, so right now like I said, I'm stitching down here, and I just did the front of this dark brown of his leg here. And I hope I didn't make any counting mistakes, because it's a lot of, it would be very bad, very, very bad. But anyway, that's where I am on that. And then I'm going to sneeze. And then the other thing I did was I worked on, so I did part of the day on the first on that deer, and then I worked on it again on the, I think on the second or the third, I don't know. I did one other day that I worked on it. So, and then on the second half of the day, on the first, I worked on this Monster Wonder whale. And let's see, 1 second. I don't know. I've already lost track of what I'm doing. I think today I couldn't decide which one I was going to work on. But anyway, so today since while we were doing our sticks and strings video, which I will link to when it's available. It'll be available tomorrow. But I worked on the whale. So when I first started it, I had just done just a little bit of his back, about this much of his back, and then so I worked on it on the second, I guess, on the whale, on the second, yeah, and the deer I worked on the third, and I went back to the whale today. So anyway, I did his this little sort of a Quaker design, I guess, on his back, and there's several of them across here that are in different colors, but just now tonight so I had come down on the second day I worked on this. I had come down here about, and so today I worked on this part. So now he has an eye, and his little, I guess, the baleen, I guess I'm guessing, his mouth, and this little curly Q in his mouth. And so there's another, what I'm starting on now is there's another little sort of Quaker pattern right in here. So what I did first was this part in the middle of these red squares here. The middle of them have that gray color in them. So right now I'm working just with the very dark gray. It's called salt and pepper is what the name of the color is. So I did the gray part of his eye, and there's some blue in there, like a blue color, and the fringe of his mouth. Yeah. So the needle minder is like one of these boats. You can see it here. Yeah. That's the needle minder that came with this kit. So it's lovely. Yeah. And this is a 32 count Belfast linen, I think. So it's very nicely serged in there. So yeah, this came in the kit along with the pattern. And one of the things that they do that's very nice with these patterns is they have the whale pattern that's like in half, right? So 2 pages. But they also have these little smaller motifs, like by themselves. There's a 3rd and 4th page that have these smaller motifs that you can actually cut out. They're sort of have lines around them with little scissor figures on there, so you could cut out those individual patterns and like stick them to your to your stitching, like with a needle minder. Hold them in place and use those to help you stitch those individual motifs that are here. So they're all like I said on just like you could cut them out and use them that way if you wanted to. So yeah. Anyway, that's Monster Wonder Whale by Owl Forest Embroidery. So that's really all I've been working on this past week. But like I said, I was house sitting for my sister while she was in Boston, helping her daughter move from one apartment to another, and so as sort of a thank you for for house pet sitting and house sitting for her, she gave me some presents. She bought some for my sister Eve for taking her to the airport, as a thank you for taking her to the airport, and some stuff for me for taking care of the animals. So she brought me back this little Boston mat tote, it's called. So it has various sites and locations in Boston. There's the Belmont, Watertown, Cambridge, the Charles River, Back Bay, etc. So there's just all kinds of places there. Yeah. Yeah. So, and I've actually been to Boston, I think, 3 times. When Naomi was in school up there. Yeah. So, and now Hannah's in school there. And that's where Naomi and Mark met, my brother-in-law. And also I got this, so I'm going to use that for some of my stitching. And I also got this little Boston bag that Naomi figured I could use as a notions pouch, which I will. And then one of the things they did while they were in Boston is they took my nephew Eli, it was his birthday while they were out there. And so they went and rode the duck boats, which are amphibious vehicles that they can drive around town, and they can do a little tour of Boston, and then they go into the Charles River, and they can ride around on the river because they're amphibious boats. So she bought me this little duck that they sell as part of for the duck boats. Yeah, this Boston Duck Tours. So there's a duck. He's so cute. It's my little ducky. My cats will probably try to steal it. And then they bought me a lobster pop. Get the lobster. Speaking of Pam and Steph, Steph has talked about how she loves hot air balloons, and we're hoping to go in October to the balloon fiesta in Albuquerque. My brother lives in Rio Rancho, which is on the west side of Albuquerque, and I have a couple of aunts and a cousin out there. And so we're hoping to be able to go out there, stay with them for a while. My brother plays in a band called Mirage, and they're like a Santana tribute band kind of thing. But they're playing at the Balloon Fiesta on the 9th that evening. So our plan is to go out there and hear them play and go to the Balloon Fiesta and all that. So that's be coming up in about a month. So we're hoping that works out to do that. But you know, like I said, Steph's often talked about how she loves balloons, and her brother and his wife live in the Albuquerque area now. So I was thinking that's what they should do. Pam and Steph should go out to visit the brother, Pam's son, out there in the Albuquerque area, and go to the balloon fiesta so Steph can get her balloon fix, you know. But anyway, that's what we're hoping to do. So anyway, I think that's probably about all there is. Check out that sale on the Etsy shop. I know it's very short notice, and there's just you know, it's just for a couple of days till the end of Labor Day, but you still have a couple of days. Go and check it out if you can, and you can get, like I said, 20% off of those items: needle minders, scissor fobs, and some of the patterns. I mean, all the patterns that are on there, and they're all just patterns that my sister has designed, or I've designed. Sorry, it's my face. They're all you know, they're on our site, and they're just inexpensive PDF patterns. So you know, go and check those out, because there's several smalls and a few larger patterns that are on there, and so like I said, those items are on sale. And then there's also the project bags and notions pouches. They're not on sale, but they're on the site, and they're, you know, nice to look at too. So very reasonable also. So I think that is it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to cover. I don't think so, because like I said, I don't have any real haul of anything that I purchased this week, for a change. Yeah, so like I said, if you were participating in the SALs, you know, go ahead and hashtag that, and so I can see what you're doing, you can see what I'm doing. And also, one other thing, and I will have this linked below also, is the 411 project my sisters and I are doing to honor our mother. I mentioned this before also in the last couple of weeks, since we started it. It is, we are making pillowcases for the children's home in New Mexico, the New Mexico Baptist Children's Home, and it was someplace that my mother supported with donations and things like that. And one of the things they do is what they do is they care for children, you know, foster children in whatever circumstances. And so we are making pillowcases for the kids to have their own pillowcase. They can, you know, sleep on their own pillowcase when those nights that they're there. And when they move on or whatever, if they want to pack all their things in the pillowcase, they can do that rather than having to pack in a garbage bag or whatever. But anyway, so they have that pillowcase to call their own. And so we've taken donations of fabric. Some people have been very kind and very generous and have sent us a bunch of fabric, or they have sent money. What we've asked for is gift cards. If you want to send money to us to buy fabric with or whatever, you can send gift cards to Hobby Lobby or Joann's or something like that, that we can. Those kind of bigger chains that have a lot of fabric, we could just buy matching fabrics to make pillowcases. And the information for all of that is on our special video for Sticks and Strings, our 411 project video, and I will link that below also. So you can participate in that way. You can either send fabric, send money, or if you're into sewing yourself, you can as part of that 411 project, there's a tutorial on there on how to make the pillowcases that we are making. So it's just like I think there's I don't want to misspeak, but there are various sizes for the fabric that they're made out of. And it's very simple. I am not a sewer myself. I don't sew things, that. But they're very simple. It's very simple. Like I said, and if you can sew, if you want to do that, you can make a pillowcase, and the instructions are on that video. And so it's very simple to do. So you can participate if you want to participate. You can do anything like that. So like I said, I will link that also. Link it below also. And so yeah, those are the things that we're up to, that I and my sisters are up to. Yeah, so if you have any questions or comments on any of that stuff, just you can put it in the comments below, and I think that is it. Yeah, so I will see you next weekend, next Saturday. Until then, just, like I said, check out those the things, the sale in the Etsy shop and the 411 project, and if you're stitching along with that at the SAL stuff, let me know about that as well. And I will see you next week. Bye.